Hello. I believe we are live. Let's just see, as we always give it a moment. Welcome, beloveds. Hello. Ooh-wee. Okay, we are live, right? I think I'm live. Yes, yes. Okay, okay. I see it. I see it. All right, we're here. We're here. Welcome. I'm just getting set up here. Please say hello if you're here live. Tell us where you're tuning in from. I love to see us co-creating. Get a hello. You know, the YouTube names are so funny because it's mostly our email addresses. So then maybe say your first name. Maybe say it's your first name. It's good to be together. This is the fourth and final Gate of Remembrance as far as what I've scheduled. So if any more demand to be shared, then I will add them here. But for now, we're completing the 4-session series. Okay. So welcome. I think we can dive in. It's a big day. I have some big plans for us today. So I'm just gonna go. Hello. Yay, so glad you're here live. Oh, yay. Hi, Erin. So great to know who's here. It's always great to know who's here. Okay, welcome. All right, and I know more will be coming on as well. So, okay, I think I will just go because I have lots to share with us. So let me make sure it's set up as you know, my trusty slides. Okay, and then go back to here and then find this. All right. Okay. Welcome. All right. Gates of Remembrance. Today is the Gate of Purpose. And we're going to be working with the Ka body. So this is the most, I'm really looking forward to offering this transmission in these times that we are in. And yeah, just before we begin, I'm going to invite you to place a hand on your heart and come in connection with your breath. Feel the earth and her aliveness and all her aspects, her mineral, the intelligence, the consciousness that she is, the evolutionary moment that she's in. Let yourself be awake and alive to the earth. And then let yourself be awake and alive to the cosmos, to the vastness of the galaxies and the universes and all of the cosmic intelligence that is moving in our direction, all of the change, all the evolutionary codes that change that is happening right now. Allow yourself to feel that as well and allow it to get closer. And to know yourself as the bridge of the cosmos and the earth. And this is the shared purpose that we have, that we come here to know that this is who and what we are, to know the expanse of ourselves and to embody the vastness of our true selves and love essence in a way that ripples beyond and beyond and beyond. And so that is the place from where we move forward today. If I look over here, I'm looking at the notes. So this is where we are. And it's been such a joy to lead this series. It's been very fulfilling for me. And hopefully it has served you as well. Okay, so as we go forward, just a quick mention on our holy return, the call of destiny. This is the Egypt pilgrimage happening. We begin on 1/11, and it's 1/11/11 because 2027 is also an 11. So that is the day that we begin. We'll be together for 12 nights in Kemet. This is an initiate journey. It is limited to 13 women participants and myself, 13 being the number of the sacred feminine, 13 being the number of the pieces, the aspects of Osir Osiris that Aset Isis recovered, with myself being the 14. And the 14 is really the symbol of alchemy, because she, as we talked in the first gate, shared in the first gate, she fashioned the phallus from gold, and through her divine will and her connection with the divine, that's how she was able to create her beloved son, their beloved son. So welcome if you're just getting in here. So this whole series has been in honor of this pilgrimage, and the most incredible women are in process in conversations with me. So if it's calling to you, just let yourself do your thing, okay? Let it do your thing. We have a finance partner. It doesn't have to be stressful. It can be gracious, and the time is now. Gosh, the time, is it ever now? I had something I actually really wanted to say about this, but maybe it'll come on later. So for now, moving forward, actually, here's one thing I want to say to you, to us, as we go in this fourth gate, or the Ka, is that since the moment of your birth, so really receive this, since the moment of your birth, you have had a companion waiting for your attention and your devotion. And so today we are deepening into this relationship, or perhaps beginning this relationship. And this is the Ka body. Okay. All right. And so this is where we are. We have moved through the gates together. We moved through the gate of wholeness and aliveness with Hetert, and the gate of power, Sekhmet, which is still so alive right now, where the Lion's Gate portal opened up a day or two ago. And depending on when you're catching this, hopefully you're catching it now and soon. And tomorrow is this incredible full moon, the most powerful full moon of the year. There's so much available for us. And the reason I said that about the gate of power with Sekhmet and the fire and the courage is just that in the Lion's Gate, right? She's a lioness-headed goddess, the aspect of Ra, and the Lion's Gate is so much of that frequency. There's so much available to us. So I'll say more about this at the end. Yeah, I will say more about this at the end. All right. So yeah, since the moment of your birth, you have had a companion waiting for you and your devotion. Today we begin or deepen this relationship. So the Ka body, the Ka, let's talk about the Ka here. This the statue here, you can see the hands on the top, the arms. That's what represents the Ka. And I'll share more about why it's on this Pharaoh's head. And the Ka is created at birth, okay? It is your spiritual double, the eternal aspect of yourself that exists alongside your physical body and your soul personality. So it's the creative life force that distinguishes the living from the dead. And the Ka continues after the death of the body, as long as it has somewhere to go. And so in the Egyptian cosmology, that's so much of the reason for the mummification, was that the Ka had a place to go, to continue to exist. And the tomb was the house of the Ka. Okay. And the Ba, this is a bird / human here that you see, is the personality soul, your individual essence, your consciousness, your character, what makes you distinctly you. And you see it depicted as a human-headed bird because it can move through dimensions and worlds. So it's not the physical body. The physical body is caught. This is your soul personality, your soul essence, the celestial soul. And it is what animates your unique expression in this life. So just to tell you, I'm going to be giving some of the context, and then we're going to go into a guided practice. And I think that's going to be a very potent aspect of today. I know, because I've been deep in the practice, knowing that we were going to be sitting here together today. Okay, and if you just join us, let us know you're here by sharing your first name. So good to see you. The pharaohs. Okay, so the kingly Ka. In the Kemetic tradition, the pharaoh was not simply a ruler. The pharaoh was the one in whom the Ka had been formally actualized through coronation, through ritual, through devotion. And from that moment, then the pharaoh exists as two beings simultaneously: a mortal human, and an immortal king. And not a god, but no longer human. not a god, but no longer human. And really the living bridge between earth and eternity. And so this is our invitation as we work with the Ka body. And what this tradition understood was that when the Pharaoh's Ka was strong, the kingdom was strong. And when the Pharaoh's Ka was weak, then the kingdom would be weakened as well. So there was always consequences beyond individual consequences. And I think that actually goes for more than just the Pharaoh. I think it goes for us as well. And so all that to say that the Ka is a fundamental focus of Egyptian alchemy. Sekhem, which is also where Sekhmet's power comes from, is the healing life force, cultivated and moved through the body. We also talked about last time, and so the Sekhem is, and Sekhmet's power is sort of this Shakti. And those of us who've studied together, if you've been with me, then you are already primed, and if you've had your own practices in other traditions and with other teachers and other pathways to really awaken the Shakti and be in a mutual relationship, a partnering relationship with this Shakti force in your body, then you are already here. So the Shakti is the healing force, the Sekhem is the healing force, and it's cultivated and moved through the body. And the more the Ka is strengthened, the greater capacity that we have for magic and manifestation and health. And so we're really deepening in it for those of us who have studied together in the past. So the Sekhem is cultivated and moved through the body through the Djed. The Djed is the central pillar of the body. And here we'll go right into this. Here it is. You can see this. I'm pointing to my screen, but you can't see me pointing. You can see this column, right? You can see here this column. This is Pharaoh Seti I in the Temple of Abydos, assisted by Aset Isis, performing the sacred raising of the Djed. So this is the Djed. It's a type of, everything has a meaning. So when we go through these sacred temples, every column, every hieroglyph, everything has a meaning. And here you see that the Djed is the spine of Osiris, and the raising of the Djed is an act of resurrection. It's an act of resurrection. So by physically raising the pillar, the priests were enacting the resurrection of Osiris, reinforcing the stability of the cosmos. And we will be here in January in Abydos. Just a beyond exquisite temple. If you've seen some of the photos that I have as my profile photos is in this temple where I was working with the sun codes. Excuse me. And so the same act of raising the Djed, we perform it every time we move the Sekhem. It's what we have been doing in all of these years, those of us who've been together in partnering with the Shakti. So now we're just going deeper and we're going into the Egyptian cosmology. And so it's not a metaphor, it's an actual practice. So we are going to go into a practice. And let's see, what do I want to say about this? Okay, so I'm going to take us into a practice for you to begin to feel and connect with your Ka body, this double, your spiritual eternal double that you have. And the more charged that it is, the stronger that it is, the greater of a powerful creator that we are. Okay. I'm just looking here to see if anyone has anything to share. All right. Let's see. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share with you a few images of kind of like images that I created for you so that you can see, if it helps you, what we're doing energetically in the body. And then I'm just going to take us through it. All right. So what do I want to say? I want to say if you have seizures, the practice can feel like a lot. Okay, so if you have seizures, make sure somebody is there with you before you do this practice and really use your own personal discernment as you're going along. Maybe the first part is fine, maybe the second part is fine, but then it might get to be too much. I don't know. It is a powerful and intense practice. And we'll be doing more of these practices when we're together. I will be leading us through these alchemical practices when we are there together. So for now, though, I'm going to share these with you. And tomorrow, depending on when you're watching this, today's the 28th, tomorrow is the 29th, the most powerful full moon. We are in this Lionsgate portal. If you are steady and stable and it doesn't feel like too much as we go through it, I invite you to make this a practice for the next couple of weeks and see what happens. See how then you get to be really conscious of what you're creating and what you're giving your attention to. Okay, that's another part. All right, so here we go. So this is the high magician's path, right? The more the Ka is strengthened, the more the alchemist, the magician, is activated. So it's not just about getting what you want, but it is the full participation of co-shaping of reality. You know, it's like there's a moment, if you've ever if you've ever felt like, wow, I'm really powerfully manifesting right now, I better pay attention to what I think. So it's not just, oh, I just can go to the Ka and get what I want, you know, or strengthen the Ka so I can use the universe as an ATM. It's not that. It's that as you strengthen it, you are becoming more powerful. So you also get to become more discerning as to where your consciousness is, where your energy is, and what you give attention in life to, and whether you allow yourself to be taken out by distractions and illusions and, you know, fear and all of these things. So forth we go. So just look at this, and then I'm going to have us close our eyes and go into the practice. So the first image, I want you to just keep your eyes on the image. So on the in-breath, you're going to be filling your pelvic bowl. You're going to fill it with breath and with so much light that it's going to go into every nook and cranny. That's going to be on the in-breath. And on the out-breath, you're simply going to place your attention on the column, your spine, the column of your spine. Okay, that's it. You're not going to try to move the energy. We're going to be there for a while, and then I will take you to the next step. So you'll just be listening to my words. And these images are just to kind of hopefully land it for you if that is supportive. And then we go into the second part where I'll be guiding you, and you'll be still breathing and filling that pelvic bowl with so much light into every nook and cranny on the in-breath. And on the out-breath, you will then just see that this energy is beginning to rise up your spine. That's it. It's not needing to go anywhere. I know you see that point at the top, the pineal gland, but you're not really trying to get it all the way up. We're going to have a series of breaths, so breathing into the pelvis, and then you'll be moving it up in the second round as part of the sequence. And then the third part of the sequence, you're going to be breathing in the same in-breath into the pelvic bowl and filling it with light and filling it with frequency. And then you're going to be bringing it all the way up, because we've already practiced, right? The awareness is such a key aspect of the Djed, and bringing the Sekhem up the Djed. So then on the third part of sequence, I'll still be guiding you. You don't need to remember any of this, but I'm just giving you a visual if you keep an eye on the image. On the third part, you'll be filling the pelvic bowl on the in-breath, and on the out-breath, you'll be bringing it all the way up and then filling your entire skull and head space with that light. Okay, and this is where it can get to be too much if you have a seizure disorder. So that's kind of the warning label that I'm offering you, and really just pay attention to how you're feeling, okay? And don't do it standing up, okay? Don't do it standing up, especially not in the beginning. Okay. Any questions before we dive in? Okay, and then there's more beyond that, but that's kind of like the beginning. So I'll take us all the way through the practice. And then in the end, there's an opportunity to like really, really anchor the frequency that you want to anchor, right? And so that's why as you strengthen the Ka, you get to be very discerning as to where you allow yourself to go. Okay, so if no questions, put them in the chat now or forever hold them. Okay, we're just gonna go in. All right, loves. So let's close our outer eyes. Place a hand on your heart, using the next few breaths to come in fully into this present moment here. Go ahead and breathe into your pelvic bowl. The first few rounds were just breathing into the pelvic bowl. So breathing into the pelvic bowl. See it filled with light. See that light expanding into every nook and cranny, and then just exhaling, still staying there. 2 more breaths, just staying focused on the pelvic bowl, breathing in. Filled with light every nook and cranny. 1 more breath, breathing into the pelvic bowl. Fill it with light every nook and cranny. Breathing into the pelvic bowl. Seeing that light going into every nook and cranny on the in-breath. And as you slowly exhale, simply placing your attention on your spinal column. Breathing into your pelvic bowl, filling every nook and cranny. On the out breath, placing your attention on the spinal column. Breathing into your pelvic bowl, filling it with light every nook and cranny. And on the out breath, placing your attention on the spinal column. So really deepening the breaths as much as possible, elongating them. Breathing into your pelvic bowl, filling it with light every nook and cranny. And as you exhale, placing your attention simply on the spine, not trying to do anything. Breathing into your pelvic bowl, filled with light every nook and cranny. And as you exhale, placing your attention simply on the spine, the column. Breathing in to your pelvic bowl, light every nook and cranny. As you exhale, placing your attention simply on the spinal column, not doing anything else. Last one in this sequence, breathing in. Filling your pelvic bowl with light every nook and cranny. Placing your attention on the spinal column. Breathing into your pelvic bowl. Filling light every nook and cranny. And as you exhale, seeing this life force moving up your spine as much as it can, wants to. No pressure. Breathing into your pelvic bowl, every nook and cranny. And as you breathe out, seeing it moving up your spinal column. Breathing in, filling your pelvic bowl, every nook and cranny. As you exhale, placing your attention on your spinal column. Breathing in, filling your pelvic bowl with light every nook and cranny, as much as you can breathe in. On the out breath, slowly seeing this energy rising up your spine. Ooh, yeah. Breathing into your pelvic bowl, deep, slow breath. Fill with light. And on the out breath, slowly seeing this energy rise up your spine. Inhale deeply into your pelvic bowl, fill with light. Slow, deep breath, and on the out breath, slowly seeing this energy rise up your spine. Ooh. Moving on. Breathing in. Filling your pelvic bowl with light. And on the out breath, slowly seeing this energy rise up your spine. Bringing it up all the way to your pineal gland and filling your head. Again, breathing into your pelvic bowl, deep, long breath, filling light. On the out breath, slowly exhaling all the way up the spine to the pineal gland and filling the head. Once more, breathing into your pelvic bowl. On the out breath, move it all the way up your spine to your pineal gland into your head, all the way filling the head with the same light. breathing the light into your pelvic bowl. Exhaling it up all the way up your spine to your pineal gland and your head, filling your head with light. Once more, breathing into your pelvic bowl. Exhaling all the way up your spine to your head, filling your head with light. 2 more here, breathing into your pelvic bowl. Exhale, breathe it all the way up to your head. Final one here. Breathing the light into your pelvic bowl. And breathing out all the way up to your head, filling your head with light. Staying here with the same breath, breathing into your pelvic bowl. And being fully aware that the energy has risen up your spine to your pineal gland and filled your head with light. Begin to see that a double of your body has presented itself in front of you. So this is an exact double, the same shape, size of your body has come before you. This is your Ka body, fully available. Feeling from your sacrum, your sacral, your first root chakra, actually connecting, seeing the energies connecting from your root chakra to your double Ka body here, establishing a line of energetic exchange. And then your second energy center, establishing a connection with that same energy center in the Ka body. Seeing the exchange of vibration, connectivity being established. And your solar plexus, establishing the connection. And your heart. Ooh. With the heart center in your Ka, establishing the connection. And your upper heart, spiritual heart center, connecting with the one in your Ka. Your throat center, connecting with the throat center in your Ka. And your brow center, which is not in the front of your head, but it's deep in, kind of where your spine is, further back, connecting all the way in to the same center in your Ka. And your crown center, connecting with the crown center of your Ka. See that these connections are fully established, not just on the surface of the body, but deep in where the energy centers are, both in yourself and in your Ka. And as you begin to tune into this contact and connection, you see that your Ka body facing you begins to go towards your right, takes a step towards your right, beginning to walk around you. So you see your Ka, your double, going around your body to the right, going all the way around once, going again around your body, really feeling this contact and connection, like you can really see this part of yourself. Once more, going around, coming all the way back. Once more, going around, coming all the way back. Once more, going around, Coming all the way back. Once more. Seeing the Ka, feeling the Ka, the connectivity as it walks around your physical body here. And once more. Walking all the way. Excuse me, around. When it's back in front of you, allowing yourself to tune into the charge that's been established. So you have now, we've been working with the Djed and raising the Sekhem up to the Djed and establishing connection with the Ka body and charging the Ka body. So like it's a battery. It has some charge. It's not full charge, but it has some charge. And so as you sit here in this communion with this expanded version of yourself, wow, I'm just finding myself just completely bathed in a rainbow frequency here. Just naming that for us. I'll be curious to hear everyone's experiences, but as you're here for now, really feeling this charge, this is the place where you get to bring in your high discernment. And what is the frequency that you want to anchor now? For yourself and for the collective. High alchemists, high magicians, they work on behalf of the collective. I believe that's why we're all here. I'm anchoring in the frequency of waking up from the illusion, freedom from bondage, for all, freedom from constraints of thinking, of beliefs, establishing the frequency of openings for us all, for newness to come in, for higher frequencies of truth and light and expansion beyond what we have known ourselves to be and what we can create and what we're capable of on this earth. For our personal, yes, but our shared destiny here. So taking another moment to establish and anchor the frequency that you want to anchor here while you're here with your charged Ka before you together. Holding this frequency. You could use your words in your own space to name it. Yes. Feel your feet. See the feet of your Ka. In the next few breaths, you're going to be invited to slowly open your eyes. Yeah, hello, beloved. Well, never did I imagine that I would lead a practice like that on YouTube. But as the times call for it, so here we are. I would love to hear any of your experiences. If you would just take a moment and put them in our chat, since we are together live, and that is the gift of live. anything that you want to share. I'm sure will be a contribution to everyone. Oh, that's great. Exquisite. Yes, and really inviting us to deepen into this practice, you know, if it resonates for you daily, at least for the next 2 weeks while we have this time to really, but hopefully ongoingly. And those of us who will be in Kemet together, we're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna be receiving so much expansion in these sacred structures, and then coming on our Dahavia and sitting on the sun deck and practicing together. It's gonna be off the chart. You feel safer. I'm so glad. So glad to hear that. I think that's Erin. Yes. All right, loves. So I want to share about a reference here moving forward. If no one wants to share anything about your experience here, there's a beautiful book called The Magdalene Manuscript. If you haven't read it, and if this resonates for you, I recommend it. It's by Tom Kenyon and Judy Sion. Mary Magdalene, being a high initiate of the Temple of Isis, she charged the Ka of Yeshua. And so even though, you know, what she shares in this channeled body of work is that though it seemed to others that the resurrection was like a resurrection of the body, it was that they had charged together, and she had charged Yeshua's Ka so much through their practices together that what seemed like a resurrection of the physical body was that his Ka, that was his Ka coming to, like that was his Ka rising and being there. And there are people, there's like, you know, records, writings of people who have charged their Ka to an extent where it looks like an actual double that you can see with your eyes. And so, you know, the work that they were doing is really strengthening the Ka through ecstatic states of consciousness. They were doing it through sex magic and their sexual union. And we can do it on our own, and we can also do it with a partner. So I just wanted to put that resource in here. Yeah, that's so great. That's so great. So I wanted to put this resource in here for you so that you feel supported by that, hopefully, right? So it's really this unification of the soul, personality, essence, and the eternal double are not one and done. It is a daily liturgy, which is kind of like devotional. It's like the same set of devotional practice done in service to something greater, right? So it's not just doing whatever you want, right? But it's the same setup, kind of like allowing yourself to go through that practice every day. An example is going through the practice we just did every day at the same time, in the same way, in service to anchoring in a frequency that serves humanity's evolution at this time, right? The earth and humanity and all of that. So it's like that. That's what liturgy is, and it's a Greek word. And devotion is really like the essential ingredient, the ingredient here, right? And then beyond that, it could be song and dance and offering. Okay. So all that, now we get to come back to this beautiful, so this is in the Abydos temple. This is where the image that we saw of the Djed, this photo of me is of me working with the solar codes in the Abydos temple. And yeah, just so much profound remembrance available through ourselves. And even right now, actually, I think I'm so glad I'm remembering to say this. Right now, for those of us who are tuning in this Lionsgate portal, is such a great time to wake up at sunrise if you can catch the sun, if you can get outside to the sun and receive the codes of the sun into your pineal gland, like receive it into your third eye, and just like do that, and then do this practice that we just did. And then if you can do it, let me know what happens. because I would love to hear. I personally have had some very meaningful, expansive, multidimensional experiences of working with the sun codes at Lionsgate during the Lionsgate time. Not even just in Kemet, but like anywhere. So I really invite us into that as well. So this holy return is a priestess pilgrimage. And that simply means that it is for women who have a relationship with the unseen. And you are called to have that relation, the unseen, the relationship with the unseen is beginning to become more and more primary, the primary thing that leads your life. And so that's really the journey of the priestess. We'll be on a journey of ascension and integration as we go. Those of us who've been together for a long time, I am so passionate about integration and embodiment and, really the full bringing it all the way here. So I'm very much looking forward to what we're going to be experiencing there together. And I know that there's an aspect of you, a version of you, a future version of you, an eternal version of you that is calling you. If you are called, that is the call from her. And I really invite you to let that call in your heart be bigger than anything else, than your schedule, than your finances, than your responsibilities and your roles as the mamas and the grandmamas and all the people that rely on you and your organizations, all of that. Just let it be bigger, because it's going to be an exquisite time that we will be together, 12 nights, 13 of us, as I said. We'll have 6 private temple visits. All of this is listed on the site, by the way, which we'll put in here again, but you can go through the page and see exactly where we have private and where we have public. And, we're going to have private space in these unbelievable structures to work with tone and sound and a little bit of like what I led in the Gate of Aliveness, but really going into that. And oh, I mean, there's no way to talk about it enough. There isn't really no way. I will be sleeping on the Nile for 7 nights on a brand new, just luxury sailing vessel that has no engine. So we're just sailing in the direction of the Nile, the sacred river, and everything is included. So all you have to do is get yourself to Cairo, okay? And there's a couple of meals that are not included, like when we're at the museum and stuff, but everything else is included. And, luxury bus with a bathroom when we have to be on land. We'll be staying at the Four Seasons when we're at a hotel in Cairo. So trust you'll be taken care of. And you get to decide if you are the type of woman who gets to have this type of experience, because it's not going to be just for you. This is not in vain. You're gonna come back with so much expansion that's going to serve your community and your family and all of that. Yes. And so today we were with the Ka. Yeah, so it's like the thing I want to remind us here with the Ka is that the unseen aspects of us are our power. The unseen aspects of us are our power. And so really inviting you to tend to it, tend to the unseen aspect of yourself, strengthen the unseen aspect of yourself, and let that be the practice that carries you forward to be the agent of change that you came here to be. Okay. So many blessings. 11:44. I'll take that as as an omen to stop and let it complete. And tomorrow's the full moon. So if this was good for you, I would be so grateful if you share it with just like one person. Share it with one person who is not already going to watch it, and invite them into remembrance that we're on this journey together, and tomorrow's the full moon and we still have, almost 2 weeks left of the Lionsgate portal. So share it with someone, because you'll be fortified in that. Okay. So many blessings, sisters. Please reach out if you have any questions. Yeah, we have a finance partner, and I love reading your applications, and I love connecting with you. Aloha.